I am very much thankful to the Bizz Education who helped me a lot on getting a visa for the course MSc Bioinformatics with advanced practice at Teesside University, UK. Also, I was awarded with the Vice Chancellor Scholarship, which was the greatest achievement. So, I highly recommend you guys to join Bizz Education right now and pave your career towards the international degree.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Biz Education Virtual Fair. My name is Ursha, and I'm the host for today's Education Fair. Everyone joining us here in Facebook Live and everyone watching us in Zoom, welcome to you all. Thank you so much for joining us today. So today's program will be dedicated to University of Teesside. We'll have representative from Teesside University joining us shortly. Before we begin, I will just share my screen right now. I think it's already sharing. Just a second. My screen is my screen shared for everyone here? Can everyone see my screen? Okay, great. So as I was saying, today's virtual fair is dedicated for Teesside University. We'll have representative from Teesside University joining us shortly. Before we begin, I will just give a quick introduction of who we are. So we are Bizz Education. We have been established since 2008. Our main office is in Nepal and other branches in UK, Australia, Colombia, Brazil. We are registered migration and visa counselors for Australia and the UK. Therefore, we process application for visa for both these countries. We are British Council certified counselors and also a team run by UK graduates. So we will be able to give you hands-on experience of what it's like to be a student in the UK. We have a dedicated office located in UK. What that means is whenever the student reach this country, we are there for any kind of additional help that they require. Many of times students have dropped into Preston and they have come up to our office and we have been able to provide them further guidance on how to look for an accommodation or even fix their accommodation and other services as such. This whole fair is dedicated to UK universities. So we have over 50 partner universities for the UK. So for the students, there are a lot of choices in order based on courses or locations, and also they are provided with different kind of scholarships and all that. While I'm talking about scholarship, I would like to take this opportunity to let everyone know regarding Bizz UK Education Scholarship. We have been Bizz Education have separated £20,000 for the student who are interested to study in the UK. What that means is if a student gets scholarship of say amount 2,000 from the university, then after a certain criteria is met academically and after the interview session with Bizz Education, they can get up to 2,000 additional amount, which is solely from Bizz Education. So adding both up, you will get about £4,000 scholarship. So that's something that we have tried to help the students out with. To proceed, I would just like to show you some glimpse of what we were doing in the ongoing pandemic, just to give you a quick overview of what we were doing. Like when the news of pandemic went around, obviously everyone was on their panic mode. But what we did was we teamed up, or we provided help to a certain group of community like Nepali Samaj Preston, Yukla Nepali Society, and also Merging NEPSOCs. So we provided a fund of £5,000 to Nepali Samaj Preston and 1,500 to Merging NEPSOCs. Now these are a community run by international student for the international student. So they went on and as you can see in the images, they provided hand sanitizers, masks during that time when it was very difficult to even, like hand sanitizer was very difficult to find. So like that, we provided our service, and till date also, we have always been calling our students just to make sure they're okay. We have also said to them that we are there for helping them out if they are in any kind of problem as arise by the current situation. Having said that, sorry about that. Having said that, I will just move on with today's program. So as I mentioned, today we'll be joined by Teesside University, and I think we have been already joined by Adam and Carla here. Hi Adam, hi Carla. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi Usha. Hello everybody.
Hello.
Hi. So I'll just give a quick intro of the university, and then I'll just pass on this virtual mic to you guys. So as I was saying, Teesside University, we are an official partner for Teesside University. We have been sending a couple of students, from quality students, to Teesside universities. As you can see in the presentation, they have been ranked TEF Silver, and also they have been ranked #1 for overall average satisfaction in International Student Barometer, and also Stonewall Top 100 Employer, and also been provided the Times Higher Education World University Ranking. So these are some of the accolades that the university has collected, and I'm sure there are much more things that Adam here would share in his presentation later on. And talking about international students, they have a wide range of scholarship provided for the international students, and they do have world-class career services for the to make the students ready for graduate jobs. As I was going through their website, there were a lot of different other things, especially the location. It's surrounded by different facilities, which I'm sure Carla and Adam will be sharing here with us. And these are some of the images of our students who have been in Teesside University, like Srikar, Basanta, and the oldest one, Sumitra, who will also be joining us shortly. So I will give a quick introduction of who Adam is. Adam is the head of international recruitment. So he'll be the best person to talk to all you, all the viewers out there, all the students who are interested to study in Teesside University. And Carla is an international student from Romania. She is currently a postgraduate student, and by the video that Adam sent, she also finished her UG in the same university. So lots of experience from both of them. And now I will, before I stop talking and just let them speak, I'll just give a quick itinerary of today. So today we will start with the presentation by Adam. And during this presentation, I'm sure you will all have some questions. Write in all that questions in the chat box, and we will provide answers to these questions after the session. After the presentation by Adam, Carla will be sharing her experience with us, and you can ask questions to Adam as well as Carla, as also Sumitra, who might be joining us today. I will let everyone know if she does. So having said that, and yes, please do write your question as specific as possible, like which course or what are your grades. Just be as specific as possible so that you can get constructive feedback from us, from them. So yeah, having said that, I will now pass on this virtual mic to Adam. So Adam, if you're ready.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Thank you, Eid. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. Yeah, my name's Adam. I'm in the UK at the moment, in Newcastle, which is north of Middlesbrough, where Teesside University is based. So thanks for joining us. I know there's some people on here and many people on Facebook Live, hopefully. So after this, once we've concluded, feel free to contact me directly, other people at the university, and also, obviously, Ursula and colleagues at Bizz. So thanks again. What I'll do today is just give you a brief overview of the university, some of the information you may wish to know, some FAQs about some of the key questions that you might well have, so that might save you asking. And also some questions in particular to the current circumstances about COVID-19 and some of the issues that you might worry about at the moment. And after that, again, if there's anything you want to ask, feel free. So in terms of myself, I represent Teesside, Head of International Recruitment. In terms of my own experience, I've worked at Durham University, Sunderland University, at Teesside as well, and we have offices all over the world. So hopefully we've got some experience to support you to come to the UK. We welcome many students every year. Probably 1,500 students come to Teesside on an annual basis from international markets. India is our biggest market at the moment, and we have an office in Gurgaon, just outside of Delhi, which is led by Padmini, is our regional director, and she's also responsible for Nepal as well. So if you apply through Bizz to Teesside, you've got an office in the region who are well experienced in local qualifications, educational systems, and they'll manage your offer as well. So Indian applicants, Nepalese applicants, they'll come through our India office. So I was in India in February, and I was supposed to go to Kathmandu, and I was on the plane over Kathmandu, and it wouldn't land because of the weather. And I'm sure you've all experienced this before. I was going from Delhi to Kathmandu, and it was an hour and a half, and it landed back in Lucknow. Could you believe it? So I couldn't get into Kathmandu, and I went to Bangladesh straight from Lucknow instead. So I missed out on my Kathmandu trip, but I do hope to be back there as soon as we can start traveling again, because this region is a real focus for us. And I think if as a student coming from India or Nepal, you'll find you're really at home. There's a lot of experience of us welcoming students from this part of the world. So I'll share my screen now. If anyone can let me know if it doesn't work, I'll see if there's any issues. But hopefully this this works fine.
It's working fine.
Is that okay? Fantastic. Thank you. So in terms of Teesside University, what I'm going to do here is just cover some of the key issues that I think you might be interested in, where we are, and also some of the programs we offer. So Teesside University is based in Middlesbrough, which is in the north of England. So you see the map there. We're near some other major towns. In terms of an idea of the distance from places, you can see the train maps there in terms of how long it takes to get from those places to Middlesbrough. I live in Newcastle, and I go to Middlesbrough every day for work. So in terms of the distance from there, it's easy for me to commute. So from your perspective, coming to the UK, you'll be based in the north of England. A lot of students that come from abroad, in my experience, like to go to a slightly smaller city, one that isn't quite as hectic sometimes, but has all the things you need. And I think Middlesbrough is that place. If you're coming from a major city and you want a slightly different experience for a year or two, then Middlesbrough offers that for our students. It's got enough there to have everything you need for your whole time, but it's not a major city where you're going to feel lost and it's going to take you time to get used to it. Now, we have a fantastic coastal environment and a countryside, as you can see from some of the pictures there. And it's a wonderful area to explore the whole of the UK. So I would encourage you, when you do come to the UK, take the opportunity to travel. It's the best thing you can do in your life, and there's so much to see around the UK. Now, hopefully I'll try and play this, and if it plays, this is a little bit of a snippet about what the area is like. So when I go to other countries, it's hard to imagine what it's like until you get there. This video, you might want to take a screenshot of the URL there. This was a video created by a current student, and he made this video because he couldn't believe how amazing the area was around Middlesbrough, and he wanted to show the world. And we use it a lot in our marketing, and we play it because it's made by a student who loved it so much. So let's see if this works for you.
Did you play it?
Yeah, is it not playing?
No.
2 seconds. Are we going?
It is not yet.
Yeah.
Well,
So this was all taken by a drone. So the student went up to all these places, took a drone, took his friends out, and captured all of the areas. And this is all within 1 hour of the university, and actually it's a lot closer in most cases. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that there. I'll just put on my other screen. There we go. So that was the region of Middlesbrough, and that is what people like to see when they're here. So I really feel like the best thing you can do in life is travel and see the world, and I have that as a great privilege myself when I do travel. And I would encourage you to make the most of your time here and go and see all of the fantastic area that we have around the region. So in terms of this university, we have 5 academic schools, and they're all on the left-hand side there. So your program will fall into one of these schools, and then depending on what program you wish to study, whether it's a postgrad or an undergrad, you can see the range of programs we offer and the credits that they hold. A lot of students from South Asia come on to do postgraduate at Teesside, and one of the fantastic offerings from Teesside is the fact that most of our postgraduate programs are offered as a 2-year course as well as a 1-year. So if you want to have a slightly longer period of time in the UK, the 2-year masters is 60 credits more, which is the extra placement or internship opportunity you'll have whilst you're here. So it's the same content of the program, but you'll get the chance to have a work placement or an internship with an employer. or in fact conduct research. If you want to stay on for PhD, you can spend your time preparing your research proposal for your postgraduate research degree. Now, in terms of the appeal, not only do you get longer in the UK, it's only a tiny bit more expensive, and I'll show you in a sec what the fees are than the 1 year. And also you get the chance to spend more time, become more employable as a result of your course, which is what employers are looking for, employment experience on top of your degree. Now, when it comes to our entry requirements, for our India market, these are the undergraduate and postgraduate entry standards. We do have some flexibility on them as well. So if you are marginally under these, I would encourage you to submit an application, and our India office will see if we can make an offer if it's marginally less. We also offer scholarships based on your academic and English ability too. So depending on whether you meet our requirements or exceed them, you'll receive scholarships as well. These are our entry requirements from Nepal. Again, these are on our website. So if you go onto our international web pages and select Nepal or India or any other country, all of the entry requirements are listed there, as well as our contact details for our regional office and for Bizz as well for your agent support. I'm happy to share these slides as well if you haven't had the chance to write these down. In terms of our accepted English language test, Teesside is quite flexible in the range of assessments we accept. If you're looking to take an IELTS, you don't have to take the UKVI IELTS, you could take the non-UKVI also. We've recently approved a number of online English tests, which you can now take, and you should be able to take in future intakes as well, not just during this current pandemic. So you've got IELTS Indicator, TOEFL, Home Edition, the Language Cert Online, all of these we will accept now. Also, if you are from India, you can combine your Indian 12th with a Skype conversation. It's not really an interview, we call it that, but it's more of a discussion to assess your listening and speaking ability. That's the typical way our Indian students meet our English requirements. You could also take the 4-band TELT, so we call it Teesside University English Language Test, and you can assess reading and writing, listening and speaking in one go with us as well. If you wish to do that. All of the equivalencies for these assessments are on our webpage compared to the IELTS scale. Now for the scholarships, if you apply, well, when you apply to us, we assess your eligibility for the global scholarships automatically. So if you meet the academic entry standards or English standards, you get £1,500 off your first year's tuition fee. If you exceed the entry standards, academically or English, you get £2,000. So if you know now that your English level is above, say, the 5.5 or the 6 that you need IELTS, or your academic is higher than our standard requirements, you can be quite confident you'll get a £2,000 discount off your first year fee. We also offer the Vice Chancellor Scholarship. Now, this has closed for September now. We received 1,000 applications, many from India, but we'll be opening for our January intake soon. And this is for our outstanding applicants who will represent the university throughout their time here, and acknowledging not only their academic ability, but also their ability to represent the institution and their own country in the future. And we will let you know when that window's open again. So in terms of tuition fees, we quite handily made our fees uniform, so it's easy to remember. So if you're an undergraduate student, it's £13,000 a year. If you're a 1-year postgraduate, it's £13,000. The 2-year program is only £2,000 more. So it's £15,000 to do the 2-year masters. And what's really good for an applicant is we actually split that tuition fee across the 2 years. So you'll only pay £7,500 per year, which helps with your cash flow. Also, you'll be paying a £4,000 deposit to come to the university, and that is the CAS deposit pre-visa. So if you pay £4,000 CAS deposit, you'll only have £3,500 left in the first year to pay. Now, as I've discussed, you're likely to get a scholarship, potentially of £2,000 as well. So that comes off that fee as well. So you might end up with £1,500 left for the whole of the first year. And that is the evidence you're going to need on your CAS, which again makes that a little bit easier for that process. And then one final thing to mention with paying fees is Teesside will listen to you about how you would like to pay your fees. Therefore, you can pay in 1 installment, in 3 installments, or 7 installments if you want per year. So if you've only got £1,500 over 7 installments, we hopefully make that as comfortable as it can be for you to pay, in some cases, only a few £100s per installment. And the last fee I'll reference there is the MBA. We offer the MBA 1 year and 2 year, and the fees are on there. The rest of our programs are slightly different programs like Foundation and Extended, etc. You can find the fees on our website. I'll draw some attention to our learning experience, how we support our students and what it's like to be a student, which I know Carla's going to come on to in a bit. I'll let Carla do most of that talking because she's best to talk about that. But in terms of our learning experience, what we've really found in the last few months in this kind of strange time we're in is a lot of universities are adapting their ways of working to meet the current circumstances. Now, what you'll find at Teesside is we're already geared up for digital learning. We haven't really had to change our ways to become more flexible. And that's great for you because what we find is a lot of our learning is delivered through the use of technology. Now, all undergraduate students, for example, are given an iPad in years, now it's year 0, 1, and now current second year undergrads have currently got an iPad now as well, because a lot of delivery is using that technology. And we've invested a significant amount of money on campus, including our most recent accommodation, which is Cornell Quarter, which is the picture on the right there. That's going to be the new halls of residence on campus. It's all right next to your schools where you'll have to be studying. So you don't have to get any public transport to get to Teesside from university accommodation. It's all walking distance. One of the best things about our campus is our library. It's open 24 hours a day, and it's a fantastic experience. It doesn't feel like a library. Now, I remember being at uni when libraries were a bit dull and you didn't really want to go in them. But we've created a fantastic learning space where you actually want to go, and students love the library. It always gets great reviews. The gym is a brilliant space. It's incredibly cheap to join. It's about £10 a month, I think, to join our gym. And the facilities are fantastic. As is our students' union. There's so many societies, Indian societies, Nepalese societies, religious groups, all sorts of organisations that you can join. And I'd encourage you to do so because it's probably one of the best parts of university is the student union. Here's a picture of our sports facilities. Loads of university sport goes on. You can join teams and play as part of a university team if you wish, or you can join for social play. You also get use of sports facilities around the community as well. So not just on our university campus, but in and around Middlesbrough too. So if you're into sport, there's a great setup at Teesside. Now, in terms of living, what you'll find in the UK is there's a real range of costs of the whole process of education, whether it's the tuition fee or the accommodation. Now, at Teesside, we offer accommodation that ranges from £58 a week to £125 a week in our accommodation. Now, this accommodation is usually based on a 40-week contract, and it'll commence when you arrive in September, and it'll finish around, I think, around July time. Now, if you want to be on the lower side of things, then £58 is about as cheap as I think anywhere in the UK for university accommodation. We do, however, find that students, particularly from India, like to go into private accommodation and they prefer to stay with their friends. Now, you're fine to do that if you know where you want to stay and if you've got contact in the UK. A lot of students prefer to do that because sometimes that works out even cheaper. Now, a few questions about the current circumstances. I'm sure this is probably some of the things that are on your mind more than other things at the moment. So in terms of Teesside, we've recently announced that we will be expecting a normal intake in September in terms of start dates. Ideally, we expect people on campus, experience a university education like we have in every other year. Some universities are saying they're not taking a September intake. Some are not doing postgraduate, for example. A lot of universities have announced what we're doing, which is a hybrid delivery. So we will deliver most or as much as possible in person and some online. So in the UK, lectures are the bigger groups of students attending a lecture, and then the smaller seminars where you'll discuss topics in more detail, or you might have individual meetings with your academics. Those smaller meetings are likely to go ahead, and the seminars are likely to go ahead as normal. The larger lectures are likely to be delivered online, so from your accommodation in this format, I guess, for the first few months until things change a little. But the initial question, do we have an intake? Yes, we do. It's expected that students will arrive for the 19th of September, and with the first week is always like an induction week, and then after that, delivery will start the week after. We are not experiencing any delays in processing offers at the moment. I've just been checking applications this morning, and we've got very few that are pending. So most applications have moved through to offer already. So I wouldn't expect there to be any delays. Any issues, that's the email address you need to email if you want to contact us directly, or obviously through Bizz if Bizz want to contact us, or indeed me if you want me to do any following up for you. I'll give you my email separately to this. In terms of your deadlines, you might be experiencing delays in your own country for your own academic results. You might be finding that exams are not happening, etc. So things might be a little bit delayed. We take things right through till August, so you do have the time. As always, we do encourage you to get things in as soon as possible. So one thing I would advise, if you've got things for your CAS, such as you need to provide this questionnaire, for example, on Teesside about why you're coming here, or you might need to give consent for us to check with the UKVI for your immigration history. These things I would encourage you to do now or soon, even if you can't get your academic results in yet. Because if we can get things in order, we can get the CAS processed a little bit smoother for you later down the line. Don't hold on to anything in the meantime, but we'll be as late as possible into August if we can for the deadlines. Teesside University's tuition fee deposit is £4,000, and you need to pay that in order to proceed to the CAS process. We don't issue CAS until you are unconditional on your academic offer. And then once you've paid your deposit, there's a few other things you need to submit, such as that questionnaire. You might need to submit maintenance documents to support your how you're funding your time here. All of these things will need to be submitted, and we'll need that £4,000 deposit, and that comes off your invoice for the first year, as I've discussed. So that's pretty standard. In terms of us refunding that, I've got a question later on actually, but we will refund CAS deposits if there's any reason why you can't join us because of COVID-19. We won't retain that. There's no delays expected for CAS either, and we expect CAS to be issued efficiently. We do start issuing CAS in a couple of weeks' time from now. The things I would ask you to do is make sure, if you are demonstrating maintenance, that you've got the necessary maintenance and you've kept it in your bank for the required period of time before submitting. Well, we can't issue the CAS until we've got the evidence that it's been held there for that period of time. So please make sure the funds are ready and you're ready, and there shouldn't be any delays in CAS. One of the fantastic things about the UK now is the kind of revised postgraduate study visa, or the graduate route that the UK government are calling it now. We have had a bit of a tough time in the UK, if we're honest, in terms of students' inability to remain in the UK after graduating, because quite clearly we know that students are some of the best people you can have in your economy, because you're all educated, you're all committed, you want to stay on, and the graduate route now is expected to come in, and it will be valid for you based on the guidance we have. But when you graduate, you can stay on for 2 years, and in that 2 years period of time, You can seek employment, you can be working, you can be experiencing the UK a bit more. And then after those 2 years, if you want to stay, you do have to meet the requirements of the visa to remain in the UK. But in the meantime, the 2 year after graduating is a wonderful thing, I think puts us in line or even ahead of some other countries around the world. In terms of pre-departures, what we usually do, and it's really common in India, particularly because we have a big intake, is hold a pre-departure event. And I was in India in August. We went all over India. I think I did 5 in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Kochi, Delhi, and I get the chance to meet you guys in person, and also our India team get the chance to speak to you and prepare you for what it's going to be like to transition to the UK. Now, whether these go on in person, we're not sure at the moment because of the current local circumstances around COVID. It might be that we can hold these. If we can't, we will be holding online pre-departures, and we'll have to speak to our India team in terms of how you kind of transition through immigration, etc. And you can speak to me and other colleagues about what it's like to arrive and the things that you need to do. So we'll keep you in the loop about that. In terms of online learning, we are set up for TU Online. We offer online delivery already. So I know some students might not want to study online, and I can understand that you want an in-person British educational experience. We will be offering some elements of it online, but we'll be pushing as much in person as possible. But what you will find at Teesside is we are already geared up. We don't have to prepare for this really. We've got the platforms to do it. So you'll find that it's quite seamless, I hope, and it's similar to the standard university experience that you'd expect normally. So that's my bit done. I hope I've answered a couple of the FAQs there for you. One thing I meant to point out a little bit more that is a worry is the refund of the CAS deposit. If you're concerned about what the circumstances where you're living at the moment around COVID, or indeed circumstances in the UK about whether your travel to the UK might be impacted by COVID, I would encourage you to continue as normal in terms of your application, continue in terms of your deposit, and if it comes to the point where you can't enter the UK or leave your own country because of the circumstances, Teesside University are committed to returning that deposit for you in those circumstances. So have no worries in that respect. That will go on as normal. The last thing for me to say is there's loads of questions, no doubt, and I can see some coming in. Once we're done with Carla's presentation, we'll do some FAQs. I'll give my email out to Bizz, and I'm happy for it to be shared with any applicant to contact me directly. And if you want anything further, hopefully I can answer it for you. But in the meantime, I hope everyone's staying safe and kind of progressing through this slightly bizarre time. But Teesside is ready for you for a big warm welcome if you can join us in the next intake. So thanks for listening, thanks for joining, and I think I'll pass to Carla, who's probably the more interesting person to listen to. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Hi, everyone. So as mentioned before, my name is Carla. I'm going to share my screen with you. So I prepared a little presentation for you as well. Right, so can you all see that?
Yes, Carla.
Thanks a lot. Right. So a little bit of an intro. So as mentioned before, I am from Romania. My name is Carla, and I was lucky enough to start calling Middlesbrough my home in 2016 when I joined Teesside to do my undergraduate degree in business management. Last summer I graduated, and because I couldn't leave this place, I've decided to progress into postgraduate, and now I'm studying human resource management as a postgraduate degree. Now I want to talk to you about my learning experiences in Teesside, because I think it's very important for a prospective student to know what's awaiting for you when you join Teesside. And I'll try to be as honest as possible. So the lectures and seminars, they are quite interactive. And before I joined Teesside, I didn't know how is it going to be, because in Romania, the educational system is a bit different. And when I came in here, I realized that the lectures and seminars are quite interactive. Yeah, you have to sit down in a lecture theater and you have to take notes and listen. But in the same time, you are getting involved in a lot of seminar activities that are group-based, and you learn a lot of things, you develop your skills, you communicate with other people. So this is really great, and all tutors give you the opportunity to speak. And there's no right or wrong answer. It's just being there, getting involved, and getting the best out of your learning experience. Another point that I would like to highlight is the independent study time that I realized is very, very crucial. It's good that you go to the lectures and the seminars and you take notes and you ask questions, but it's really, really important to take time in the library, as Adam mentioned, in the library or in the business school or at home, to do some extra reading and to do some, some extra research to develop your knowledge. Another point is the English language course. So yes, you have to do an English test before you come here. But when I joined Teesside, at the beginning of my degree, I was enrolled automatically in an English course at Teesside. And it really helped me to understand how they assess students, what are the criteria that they are looking for during my degree. So it's really, really helpful to go, and you even get the certificate by the end of it, which is quite useful as well. Next, I would talk about the assessments. So as I mentioned before, I was a bit anxious when I joined because I didn't know how am I going to get assessed, especially because English was my second language, so I was a bit anxious about that too. But I realized the assessments can be different. You can be asked to prepare a presentation, you can be asked to do a group-based activity, you can be asked to write a report or an essay, you might be asked to do a video presentation. So they all differ depending on the module, but you will always get support from the academics in the school that you are studying in. So there's no reason to panic. You will always get all the support that you need throughout the module. Another important aspect specifically in the business school was that I got the opportunity to work with real businesses. So I'll give you an example. In my final year of my undergraduate degree, I took on a marketing module, and we've been asked to prepare a strategic marketing presentation and plan for Greggs. For those who don't know, Greggs, it's a business in the UK. It's a bakery brand. And we entered the competition between universities, and the winner got the chance to present that strategy to the real CEO of Greggs. And they were taking into consideration our ideas. So to me, this was mind-blowing, because in any other university or in any other country, I don't think we would have that opportunity to talk to a real CEO and to present our ideas and to be listened to. So I think that was awesome. And we also got feedback from them. So that's amazing. And something that I already mentioned is the support available. So when I joined Teesside, I was a bit shy and anxious because it was a really, really different life experience, a new chapter in my life, and I didn't know how people would react. But I got support from everyone since day one when I joined into campus, and I've been given a campus tour, and I've been told what I'm gonna expect to. I've seen the buildings, I spoke to the academics. They all supported me, and not just when I arrived, throughout my whole degree. Whenever I had an issue, I knew if I'll send an email or I'll ask for a one-to-one with an academic, they were more than happy to say, yes, we are here, I'm listening to you, so tell me what's the problem so we can fix it together. Which I think it's fantastic to have that support from someone in here. Now about the academic facilities. So Adam briefly mentioned the library. Well, I would tell you as a student, I would never leave the library, especially because it's 24 hours. I will just, bring my lunch with me and I'll stay there and just meet my friends, and we would work together. And it's an amazing place to go and learn from. It's not boring and all about books and that's it. It's quite an interactive building because it's designed for anyone's preferences. So, for example, we have a group works area with a lot of group-based study spaces. We also have an individual study floor on the second floor, and it's more quieter, I guess, for people who would like to study in a more individual space. We have a silent zone, and in there you can't even breathe. Well, I'm joking. You can breathe, but that's for people who really don't want to hear any noises when they are studying, because everyone learns in different ways. And we also have a floor for postgraduate students. In case anyone is interested to join a postgraduate course, we have a specific floor in the library only for you, exclusively. And we've got a lot of other supports. We've got printers in there. We've got a cafeteria on the ground floor. It's amazing. We've got loads of spaces for everyone, and it's 24 hours. When I joined, actually, it wasn't 24 hours. It was closing at 10 p.m. And I remember I had the deadline at midnight that night. And when I went to the library, because I really needed a book, they were closing. But now we're all lucky. It's 24 hours. So you can go whenever you need and just take whatever you need, a book or a journal article. They've got loads of, speaking of journals, they've got a lot of journal articles online. If you look at my presentation, I've posted in there the discovery link. So that's where you can go and find online books, online articles, online resources, and there are thousands of them. Like, there's nothing that you can't find in our library, honestly. You can see around a few pictures, so you can have an idea of how the library looks like and how the resources look like. But I would like to mention the business school, because that's the best part. As a business student, I cannot not talk about the business school. It's brand new. So it's been open in 2018, if I remember well, in December. And it's fantastic. The learning facilities are amazing. You can see how the classroom looks like. They're very modern. We've got a lot of seminar rooms with a lot of space and screens and computers as well, where we can all work together. We've got an open area for presentations or for conferences. We've got a cafeteria in there. If you ever have a lunch break between your courses, you can go in our cafe and eat your lunch there. So it's all modern, and anything that you need as a student, you can find in these buildings, honestly. You don't have to go out campus if you are studying in Teesside. All the buildings are equipped with all the equipment, all the facilities that you need. And what I really love about Teesside is that they really listen to the students' needs and the student voices. So if you have a request or if you need anything, you just tell them and they will go and do it. I think that's amazing. And I'll talk briefly about the work experiences, because I don't want to go over the time as well. So please stop me if I'm reaching the time. So Teesside literally was a place where I got a lot of experiences, and I developed myself as a person, not just as a student. I've been fortunate enough to find a lot of work experiences in here. There are a lot of student jobs available in Teesside. So one of them, my first job here, for example, was the student ambassador job. You can see on the left side of the screen, there's a picture of me working on an open day. To me, it was quite amazing to become a member of staff and help them with their recruitment and to meet the visitors and talk to them. And that's a job that's open for any student. It doesn't matter from where you're coming or what are you studying or how old are you. It's open to anyone that's a student in Teesside. And another important aspect, it's that Teesside is supporting students when it comes to working experiences, specifically in their degree. So last summer, I've been doing an internship in a real business in the Northeast, and Teesside funded the internship. It was a summer internship. It wasn't a permanent role, but I gained loads of experiences, and I learned how the real world of work kind of looks like. And I got also paid. It wasn't volunteering, so that was amazing too. But in terms of volunteering, Teesside is offering these kind of opportunities too. So if anyone in here is interested to do any volunteering activities, Teesside has a platform called Voluntees. And in there are a lot of volunteering activities available for students or for anyone who wants to join. And they are not just in campus, they are out campus as well, if you're just interested. And at the end of each year, they do a ceremony and they hand in certificates for volunteers who were outstanding. So I think that's great too. And I really love doing volunteering because I'm the type of person who likes to help other people. And the student life, because that's an important, it's an important aspect when you come and join any university. You have to have a student life as well and have some fun. This student life is pretty much surrounded around our Students' Union. If you don't know about it, you can check our website for the Students' Union. They have a lot of clubs and societies. As Adam mentioned earlier, you can join a club or a sport and play for our university. That's pretty much linked to the Students' Union. I'm not the type of person who plays sports, but I got involved in Salsa Society because I love dancing, and also Music Society. They have that too. Actually, the Salsa Society was, we founded it. The students found the society because they really wanted to do it, and the Students' Unions supported us. And another major aspect is the university itself. It's organizing a lot of events throughout the year for the students. So as Adam mentioned earlier, we have the orientation week or the induction week when you join. So you will be shown around the campus and you will be part of a lot of activities to get used to the campus. Or we have the international student celebrations in November, December time. We have Christmas parties, we have Halloween parties, we have, at the end of each year, we have a big final party, which is called Final Fling. There is a picture in there in the right side of the screen, so you can see how many people attend. Basically, everyone from the university goes there just to celebrate that we finished our assessments and now we just want to relax and have some fun and just enjoy our student lives. I think that I talked about it a lot, but if you do have any questions for me in terms of how it is to be a student here, you can always put a question in the chat box and I'll try to reply as soon as possible. And thank you very much. I think I'll hand over back to Adam if he wants to talk more about it, and thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Carla. I think Adam is already getting busy with the questions, and I've seen that he is answering a few of the questions already. So
yeah, I'm trying. I was hoping that was working. I wasn't sure if I was replying to everyone or replying to the individual, but I'm trying my best to go through the questions, and I'll continue doing that. I'm not sure whether you want me to answer them on text or whether you want me to talk.
No, it's okay. We'll just go ahead with, I'll take the questions, the ones that you've already replied. Thank you so much for that. And the rest, I will take in some questions. So before beginning, I would like to ask a question to Carla, first of all, regarding students. What would you suggest those students who are quite shy at the very beginning when they first enter to a new place, right? They're a bit shy, and what would you suggest to such students?
I think first of all is to have in mind the idea that no one is judging you, because that was one of the reasons why I was quite shy when I joined. I didn't know if people will welcome me because I'm from another country, but I was pleasantly surprised that everyone was so happy and welcoming and cheerful, and everyone wanted to be friendly and to talk and to get to know each other. So what I would suggest is to take advantage of the Freshers Weeks that I forgot to mention in the student life bit. When you join at the beginning, you have the induction week, but in that week you also have a Freshers Week with a lot of events designed to help you to get to know other people, to have some fun. There are a lot of activities. So what I would suggest is to get involved in anything that you can, honestly, in activities, in jobs, if you live in university accommodation, go and say hi to people, go with them around the campus to see the places and to kind of get to know Middlesbrough. Just be positive. Try to be welcoming. I know it can be a bit anxious to go and just greet someone and say hi, but everyone will be so welcoming, and they are very, very happy to meet people from other places, because especially in Middlesbrough, I've learned that people are keen to learn about other cultures. So I was quite surprised to see how many people wanted to know about Romania, honestly. Just be yourself, don't panic, and enjoy the time and try to make as many friends as possible. People will love it.
Right, Carla. Like you said, no one's judging. So just letting all the students know that you don't have to stop yourself from talking to people and all that. Thank you so much, Carla.
Welcome.
So, Adam, I have a question for you. So this student, Striya, she has completed her hotel management in grade 12, and she has secured 65% in 2016. And currently she is working in a hotel. She wants to know about switchable program at Teesside University related to hotel management. Adam, are you there? Sorry.
Yeah, I am here. Sorry, I was just typing a question there. So regarding, right, okay, so so she wants to do specifically hotel management, or does she have other areas of interest, for example?
Something switchable program that might relate to hotel management.
Yeah, no worries. That would be within our business school, would be the place to start. Now, in terms of specific programs, we've got a range of management programs, often with international within the context, like hospitality, for example. And we've also got, sorry, I'm just bringing something up here. In terms of the entry requirements, I think it would be a standard entry 65%, which is what I think you mentioned there, in terms of entry, and also the English requirement would be the standard IELTS, Indian 12 plus interview. Now, in terms of the business schools, offer a range of programs around the hospitality area. I don't think hotel management is a specific one that Teesside would offer, but I could send you a link separately to one that I think might be the most relevant, if that's okay.
Sure, Adam. I will share that with Shreya. So Shreya, please do connect with us on Facebook, or just leave in your contact details with us, and we will provide you additional information regarding that. The next question is by Dendi. Again, I did see that you have already replied to her once, but another question is that if the academic and IELTS score is more than the entry requirement, can she get the scholarship that is more than £2,000?
It's one or the other in our case. The way you can get more than 2,000, someone else asked another question about if they pay their fees in full. So firstly, the global scholarship is either 1.5 or 2. You can meet one or either of the English and academic requirements to get the 2,000. If you wish to pay your fees in full, you get £500 off. Now, by full, I mean if that's the first year's full fees. So if you're a 2-year master's, as I mentioned, you pay 4,000 deposit, you get 2,000 off as well. So that only leaves you £1,500 left. Now, if you want to pay that £1,500, you actually get 500 off. So actually, you only owe 1,000. So you can't actually get more than the 2,000 on its own, but you could combine it with the early payment discount and get £2,500 in total.
Okay.
So did you make sense?
No, a bit of numbers. So did you say that when the students pay the full amount of the course,
yeah,
she will get a return of £500? Is that the case?
That's correct. You get an early payment discount. So it's an early payment discount of a further £500. So our scholarships are listed on the international pages, and it's the early payment discount. So yeah, it's your fees in full before you enrol. So if you're on a 2-year master's that only pays £7,500 per year, you only have to pay the £7,000 in the first year. So as I mentioned, you pay a 4,000 deposit anyway. You'll get a £2,000 scholarship if you've exceeded. So you only need to pay the extra 1,000. Yeah. So yeah, if it's an undergraduate year, it'd be 13,000. You'd need to pay all of that to get the 500 off. But
okay, yeah, makes sense.
Quite a good deal, though, I think. If you have the cash available, and actually students should have the cash available because they've demonstrated it for the CAS, so you might as well send it through.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, Adam. I'll take in the next question. Regarding it, it's by Jivan, and he wants to know if it's worthwhile to be going for the advanced practice 2-year course over the 1-year course of MSc.
Yes. So postgraduate, most of our postgraduate programs offer the 2-year, and most of them are also offered in January as well. So if you're interested in potentially the January intake, you'll probably find it's available then. Teesside brought this in about 4 years ago, and when we did, so the South Asia market exploded really with it, because what we found was students from South Asia wanted to stay longer than the 1 year in the UK. Carla was obviously studied an undergraduate, but if she'd come to just do a 1-year postgrad, based on what she said, you get most out of your experience by being here for a decent amount of time. And the 2-year route gives you the chance to stay longer. So in terms of the positives, it's the same academic content, but delivered over 2 years. So the academic delivery is the same. It gives you extra time in the UK to do a placement or an internship, which makes you hopefully more employable and creates business connections. It's only £2,000 more, so it's £13,000 or £15,000 for the 2 year. In terms of paying, it makes it more affordable because you split the 2 years fee across the 2 years. And then on top of that, you can then stay in the UK for the postgraduate graduate visa for a further 2 years. So if you take the 2-year route, just by doing a master's, you could be in the UK for 4 years. And I think what we're finding is as more and more people turn to higher education, a degree in itself doesn't necessarily separate you apart anymore from other people. And even a postgraduate degree doesn't. But this 2-year postgraduate degree really gives you the chance to become more employable by giving you valuable work experience. And we'll hopefully support you in finding a suitable placement that's relevant to your subject area.
So when you said that you would be the university would be providing help to secure that in placement, the student also want to know the previous stats, like how have all the students who are doing this placement, have they been able to secure placement based on the past records or something?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the very quick answer is not everyone, and that's partly because not everybody wants a placement. Some people want to do research instead. But sometimes what we tend to do at Teesside is we don't hold everyone's hands. So what we will do is provide the opportunities for students to have the interviews and get the business connections. But we expect the students to be proactive and also source either the placement themselves or take one of our recommendations and perform well at the interview, because it's a competitive process. It's designed to prepare people for the real life of trying to get a job. And in some cases, some students haven't performed, or in some cases, as we know, some people aren't as proactive as others. So, there's a gut feeling maybe 10% of students or so will end up being disappointed and end up doing something that they weren't quite wanting. But the vast majority of students should get a business connection relevant to their field.
Thank you so much, Adam.
No
Next question is for Carla. It's something related to what I asked you before, but Rubina wants to know what are the social or academic challenges an international student face in Teesside, if there are any, or if you know of your friends or anything having this social or academic challenges.
Thank you for the question. I saw it in the chat and I tried to think about it, because I think the answer, I've encountered none. So I've been in here for 4 years and I haven't encountered any social or academic challenges. Actually, it's quite the opposite, because I mentioned before, in terms of social activities, international students are more than welcome in here, and they are quite appreciated, because as Adam mentioned, more than 1,000 students per year come from international markets. So because Teesside is a multicultural university, both staff and students are very friendly and welcoming with everyone that comes in here, and they are very open to learn about new cultures, to respect other people. We also have a Yes to Respect campaign in here to protect everyone. So in terms of social challenges, I haven't encountered any problems in here, and none of my friends had any. Like, I'm being honest. Most of my friends, and including myself, they wanted to do the postgrad here and to take the 2 years postgraduate because they love Teesside so much, and they've been so welcomed and supported here that they don't want to go to another university. They want to continue their education here because they feel like home. And academic-wise, I don't think there are any challenges. As I said, to support international students, they actually put international students at the beginning of their degree on a free English language course just to refresh their minds in terms of the assessments in here, in terms of English basics. And so they just want to make sure that everyone feels comfortable enough to go to their lectures and courses and continue their degree as they should. So my answer would be, don't worry. I don't think you will face any challenges here. And if, God forbid, there will be any, I'm pretty sure if you talk to an academic, if you have any issues, they will sort it out for you and they will help you to fix the problem.
Right. Okay, so as Carla mentioned,
I hope that helps.
Yes, it does. So as Carla mentioned, right, when you're in the university and if you face any kind of problem, there is certain support from the universities that they provide for international students. So that won't be something you will have to worry about. Having said that, I'll go into the next question. As Adam mentioned that the September intake might be from 19th September, but what will be the deadline for tuition fee payment for September intake? So
expecting a conventional timeline, we would expect that to be the beginning of August. I'm not going to give a specific date because we try and be a little bit more flexible, but as I mentioned, the deposit triggers the CAS, and therefore there has to be time to process the CAS and then for you guys to get your visa appointment. So we'll go as far as the beginning of August, really. Now, depending on circumstances, we might find there's been discussions of quarantine for international travellers around the world. And there's also the reality of needing to be a little bit more flexible. I expect Teesside to be as flexible as most universities in terms of allowing you to start a little bit later than perhaps normally. And if that's the case and we allow you to come a couple of weeks late, we will probably allow you to also be a little bit later on the deadlines as well. But if you can work towards the beginning of August, that will be good. In terms of enrolment, the very latest we normally allow students to enroll or be here is 2 weeks after the start of the course. So the 19th is the Saturday, so the 21st will be the Monday. The 21st is the week of induction. So the first week of teaching would actually be the 28th. So in normal intakes, it's 2 weeks after that date, that is the last date you can arrive. I can't say for certain there'll be any further flexibility on that, and we don't want people here later than that. But if we are allowing some element of flexibility, we might allow a slightly later deposit deadline in the end of August. But if you can work towards that, beginning of August, if you can work towards that, that would be great.
The other intake after September would be January. Is that correct, Adam?
That's correct, yeah. We're open for applications now. Same process applies in terms of 2 weeks late for January. But you can apply now for January, and the CAS will start to be issued for January around October time.
Okay. Thank you so much, Adam. The next question is regarding English scholarship. And Nisha wants to know, what's the requirement and eligibility criteria to get the English scholarship?
Mm-hmm. So it's the same kind of theory as the academic scholarship. If you meet the English requirements like bang on, the equivalent of a 6 IELTS, and if you needed a 6, then you would get £1,500. If you exceed that requirement, you would get £2,000. But it's not just the IELTS though, it's any English assessment that we accept, and then it's converted into IELTS for the entry requirement. So if, for example, you are an Indian student and you've got your Indian 12th for the reading and writing component, we take it for that. and then we speak to you as a Skype, and then we mark you for listening and speaking. Our English Language Centre would assess the listening and speaking at an IELTS level, so a 6.5 or a 7. And again, we'd use those for the scholarship as well. So if we determine you to be a 7 IELTS, then that would exceed, you know, a lot of the programs, and you get £2,000. So it's the same theory. You meet it, you get 1,500. If you exceed it, you get 2,000.
And I don't know where the question went, but I did see something regarding the Vice Chancellor Award. Someone wanted to know about the criteria for that award.
Yeah. So we created these scholarships about 2 years ago because we had some outstanding scholarships, academic students who could be world leaders, and we wanted to differentiate the Standard Global from the VC scholarship. Now, one of the cool things about this scholarship, apart from obviously being a VC scholar and getting 5,000, is you have a welcome lunch with the other scholars, with the Vice Chancellor in the VC's building. And it's a really nice affair where we all get smartly dressed and what have you. And we then use the students for marketing purposes, and you can put it on your CV as well, which is, I think, the biggest thing, really. So again, it's on our website. You can find a bit more there. But in terms of the requirements, we ask for 500 words of application for basically what you've done in the past, and what your experience and personal qualities you're bringing to this university, and then what you want to do in the future, how you'll represent Teesside as a graduate, and what you plan to do, so that we know in the future you'll go on to certain things and you'll represent this institution in a positive light. So it's a 500-word assessment, and we'll assess that and get back to you to let you know if you've been eligible.
Are there any international students who have achieved this award?
It's just for international students.
Okay.
So we have 30 scholarships of £5,000. So we have £150,000 to distribute. We've got some profiles on our website. The January 2020 recipients are on there. And just looking now, the first one is from Bangladesh. Then it's Egypt, Nigeria, Nepal. In fact, Basanta. On there with a profile, Kenya, India, Pakistan, Nigeria. So it is an international event. It's not for UK students. They're all excluded, just for you guys.
Okay. Looking at the time, it's 12:08, so I'll take in 2-3 more questions before I end this session. So Jivan here wants to know if there are any seats number of seats available. Can you tell him about number of seats available for postgraduate course in particularly engineering? Is there any cap to the seats for engineering, and are the seats allocated in category like UK or EU students, or for non-EU students, something like that?
Okay, so there's only some programs at Teesside where we put a cap on them, and they're nearly always the health programs. And the reason they're capped is because of external funding, or if there is NHS connections, for example, where placements are required, there has to be a cap on those programs. Engineering isn't capped at all, and we have seen extensive growth in our engineering, particularly postgraduate programs in petroleum, in civil, mechanical. All of these programs are really popular with our international students. At the moment, there isn't a capacity issue, but the school of where engineering sits is the biggest school for international. So if you did an engineering course, you'll find that there's a really big international cohort, particularly on the 2-year programs as well. So there's no capacity issue at the moment, and I think you'll find it to be a really international experience if you do that one.
Okay. The last question would be from Dendi, and he mentions that the duration for September intake for masters is 20 months, and that for January is 24 months. So what's the difference between these two intakes?
Good question, actually. It was funny because we came across this like a slight anomaly. The duration is, well, the content is the same, so there's no difference between the programs. Everything you do will be the same, whether you join us in January or September. It's just the way that the term dates go and then the holiday periods go. So on one intake, you'll have slightly longer on the CAS than the other. You'll always get the extra couple of months after the program anyway. But the actual duration, it's just the duration on the visa. The actual content of the program is no different. It's just the way the academic year falls.
The longer holidays for January, I suppose.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, it's just the point at which you're starting and then which ones you're taking. Yeah.
Right. So
I'm sorry. I guess it's because you'll go January full year, then you'll go January for another full year as opposed to September.
Summer.
Yeah, the second one, that's right. The September one finishes in the July, I guess, or the June.
So that's the only difference.
Yeah.
So yeah, having said that, that brings an end to our Q&A session. And if I've missed any questions, I would like to remind you that we'll have another session after Adam and Carla leaves us. We'll have a Nepali session where you will talk to the Bizz team, and we'll communicate about any other questions. And if we fail to answer your question, we will definitely get in touch with Adam and get back to the student as well. So before you leave Adam and Carla, Hari sir, the director of Bizz Education, Hari sir, would you like to say some closing remarks for their participation?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, and thank you, Adam. Thank you, Carla. See, Teesside is a beautiful university. You know, like we have really good number of students. Like we process with the Teesside, and they are doing good on their studies as well. This is one of our students. We process his visa application. Basanta, he awarded, I think, the VC scholarship of £5,000. And we have another two students. They are doing good on studies as well. Sumitra is doing MSc International Business, and Suga is doing computing. So that means the university have most diverse courses. So if you want to go for a university who has they have I think more than 1,000 courses related to every departments. So, and the entry requirement is also suitable for the Nepal market. So if a Nepalese student willing to go on their choices course with the entry requirements as flexible to them, the university is there, and their ranking is really good, and their teaching quality is really good, because our student is doing good over there. And regarding tuition fees structure as well, this is the only university in UK who separate the tuition fee, 2 years tuition fee in 2 different years. So Basanta only pay, I think, 1,000 or 1,500 pounds for whole duration of the course. So that means it's the financial, there is no financial burden for the first year of study, because first year of the study you need to more focus on your study rather than other things. So it helps to student as well. And they are more focused with the student satisfactions. That's why they are getting good numbers on those things as well. And international team is really supportive. But I like to insist one thing with all the students: please apply ASAP, because Teesside application process and compliance process take a bit longer than normal, because they will check everything. Okay, and we didn't want to miss you after failing the checks or something like that. That's why please apply ASAP, and it's the open door for you. And is the university, say I visit I think 3-4 times Teesside, and I have chance to meet with Adam and the team, and they always welcome students, and they always try to help each other. So please guys, and I like to say thank you, Adam and Carla and all the teams. So all the support you guys given to us is always always happy to share these feelings. And even Heidi as well, she emailed me last week, say what marketing plan do you want, what I can do for your student to accommodate the university. And see, this kind of support you never get in other universities. Okay, so please, any Nepalese student willing to apply Teesside, just apply ASAP. And another thing is, I like to add, there is a really good Nepali society in Teesside as well. It's Teesside Nepali Society, and they have their own Facebook page. If you have any concern regarding study or anything like that, you can talk to them as well. Okay, so it's a bunch of Nepalese people working there with a good motive. So yeah, I like to thank everyone, and let's hope we're gonna have another session in another month. Yeah, thank you, Ursha.
Thank you, Harisa. And you have covered Dandy's question as well, that she wanted to know why she should choose Teesside University. So I think that is covered as well. So having said that, I would like to thank Adam and Carla for coming today, for giving us your time and sharing about university, and Carla sharing your experience. And we hope to see you when we do additional fairs as well, because it is very helpful for our students as well to get hands-on advice from from you guys. So thank you so much, Adam and Carla. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you, Harry, also. Next time, maybe my plane won't turn around, and I'll be able to get into Nepal. Yeah. And I'd love to be there to see the students. Padmini is our contact in our university, as you know, for the Nepal market. So she'll also be there. But good luck to everybody who's applying this year, and you know, just kind of proceed as confidently as you can in the circumstances. Yeah. And hopefully you'll get your chance to go to university this year. But in the meantime, thanks again, everyone. And, you know, please contact me directly if there's anything I can help with in the meantime. And best wishes to everyone.
Thank you.
So after this session, now we will have another short session. It'll be a very short session with Bizz team and the students. It'll be in Nepali. So we will begin in a few minutes now. Just a second. So right. Carla, Adam, would you be comfortable for us to go ahead with this short Nepali session while you guys are here?
Yeah, no worries.
So I'll just go ahead with the next session. As I mentioned, it'll be short and sweet. If the students, you have any questions, you can unmute your mic and talk to us directly right now. You can communicate in Nepali as well. So to begin this short session, Kedar sir, would you like to share something in Nepali for our Nepalese students here?
Dhanyavad, Ursha. So also thank you very much, Adam and Carla, for your very informative session. So majority of the participant students and our viewer in Facebook, they got benefited with your presentation. So अब बाँकी हाम्रो स्टुडेन्ट्सहरुको केही क्वेशन्सहरु छ टीसाइड युनिभर्सिटीसँग सम्बन्धित क्वेशन्सहरु त सायद तपाईहरुले धेरै आन्सर पाइसक्नु पनि भयो अरु भिजा प्रोसेसिङ डकुमेन्टेशन्स अनि अफर प्रोसेस लगायतको क्वेशन्सहरु छ भने यु क्यान आस्क तपाईहरुले सोध्न सक्नुहुन्छ बिज नेपाल टिम छ बिज युके टिम छ सो माइक अनम्युट गर्दिनुहोस् अनि टाइप गरेर सोध्नु भए पनि हुन्छ बोलेर नै भोइस क्वेशन सोध्नु भए पनि हुन्छ सो यो एउटा प्लेटफर्म हो तपाईहरुले धेरै भन्दा धेरै क्वेशन सोध्ने प्रशस्त इन्फर्मेसनहरु सूचनाहरु लिने र राइट डिसिजन गर्ने जसको कारणले चाहिँ तपाई पछि युके पुगिसकेपछि पनि सर्टेन कुराहरु तपाईले ओहो पहिले यो कुराहरु मैले इन्टरेक्सन गरेको भए मेरो डिसिजन अझ चाहिँ प्रोपर हुन्थ्यो भनेर पछुताउनु नपरोस् सो प्लिज to ask if you have anything regarding courses, regarding universities, regarding application process, visa process, and anything.
Like Kedar sir mentioned, हामी यो सेसन चाहिँ एकदम छोटो गर्छौं सो अहिले नै कसैसँग के क्वेरी छ भने जीवन जी तपाईसँग के क्वेशन छ भने तपाईं अहिले हामीलाई शेयर गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ
सुन्नुस् त्यो अघि एडमले मेन्सन गरे जस्तो हैन यो बिज एजुकेसनले पनि चाहिँ अब इन केस अब टीसाइडले चाहिँ 2000 पाउन्ड 2000 पाउन्ड स्कलरशिप दियो भने बिजले पनि 2000 पाउन्ड थप्ने यस्तो के कुरा गरे जस्तो लाग्यो त्यसको बारेमा के अलि बेसी भनिदिन सक्नुहुन्छ
त्यो चाहिँ हाम्रो बिज एजुकेसनको सेपरेट स्कलरशिप को लागि हो जुन चाहिँ जसको एप्लिकेसन चाहिँ हामीले स्टार्ट गरिसक्यौं त्यसको लागि छुट्टै क्राइटेरियाहरु हुन्छ जस्तै कि इंग्लिश नट इंग्लिश पर्सेन्टेज रिक्वायरमेन्टहरु छन् हरि सर तपाईँ के भन्न चाहनुहुन्छ यसको बारे?
हजुर जीवनजी यो चाहिँ हाम्रो बिज स्कलरसिप भनेर हामीले चाहिँ विद्यार्थीहरूलाई वाइ नट लाइक हुन्छ नि केही चिज गिभन ब्याक टु यर कन्ट्री भने जस्तै हामीले चाहिँ बिज स्कलरसिप भनेर हामीले चाहिँ सेप्टेम्बर इन्टेकको लागि घोषणा गरेको छौँ होइन। यो चाहिँ एउटा विद्यार्थीले म्याक्सिमम 2000 र मिनिमम 1000 को छ। अनि यसको क्राइटेरिया के छ भने त्यो बिजको स्टुडेन्ट हुनुपर्छ, उसले चाहिँ एप्लिकेसन बिजबाट गरेको हुनुपर्छ र उसको अफर होल्डर हुनुपर्छ कुनै पनि युनिभर्सिटीको है। र उसको स्कलरसिपको डिसिजन हुने बेलासम्म उसले चाहिँ अनकन्डिसनल अफर लिइसकेको हुनुपर्छ। जस्तो हाम्रो बिजको एप्लिकेसन जुन 5 बाट स्टार्ट भइसक्यो, वी हेभ अलरेडी रिसिभ द एप्लिकेसन फर दा वान। तर अब कतिपय कन्डिसनल अफर होल्डर हुनुहुन्छ र उहाँ हाम्रो यसको डेडलाइन चाहिँ जुलाईको 10 तारिक छ। तो जुलाईको 10 तारिक भित्रमा त्यो कन्डिसनल अफर लेटरलाई अनकन्डिसनल बनाइसकेर हाम्रो सर्टेन क्राइटेरिया छ। जस्तो क्राइटेरिया भनेको स्टुडेन्टको पर्सेन्टेज छ, जस्तो अन्डर ग्रेजुएटको लागि 75% भन्दा माथि हुनुपर्छ 1000 को लागि, 85 भन्दा माथि हुनुपर्छ 2000 को लागि, प्लस एसओपी। मैले अहिले पछिल्लो समयमा नेपाली विद्यार्थीहरूले एसओपी नलेख्नु भएको या एसओपीमा चाहिँ धेरै मिस्टेकहरू पत्ता लागेको छौँ हामीले हैन। सो त्यसलाई चाहिँ हामीले इन्हान्स गर्नलाई के गर्यौँ, वी आर आस्किङ न स्टुडेन्टहरूलाई चाहिँ एसओपी आफैले लेख्नु र त्यो एसओपी को बेसमा पनि त्यो स्कलरसिप जज हुन्छ। इट्स नट 100% ग्यारेन्टी तपाईँले एप्लाई गर्दैमा पाउनुहुन्छ भनेर। इट्स मेरिट बेस्ड स्कलरसिप। तपाईँको यसको जजमेन्ट भनेको हामी एकाडेमिक पर्सेन्टेज, इङ्ग्लिस ल्याङ्ग्वेज र तपाईँको एसओपीमा निर्भर हुन्छ। यो चाहिँ हाम्रो प्यानल हुन्छ, एउटा प्यानलले डिसाइड गर्छ हैन। इट्स नट मी और केदार सर और एनी बिज टिम। त्यसमा हाम्रो प्यानलमा बिज टिमको मात्र हुनुहुन्न, बाहिरको मान्छे पनि हुनुहुन्छ। ओके, दे आर द वान हु गोना डिसाइड दिस वान है। अनि अर्को क्वेसन के आउन सक्छ, मैले त आइएलटीएस गरेको छैन, मेरो हुन्छ कि हुँदैन। त्यस्तो आइएलटीएस नगरेको विद्यार्थीहरूको जजमेन्ट चाहिँ हामीले इङ्ग्लिस त्यो एसओपी हुन्छ नि, एसओपी को बेसमा पनि हेर्छौँ। र अब त्यसले चाहिँ तपाईँलाई के फाइदा गर्छ, जस्तो कसै इफ एनीवन वान्ट्स टु जोइन टु टिसाइड युनिभर्सिटी हैन, टिसाइड युनिभर्सिटी जोइन गर्न लाग्छ भने टिसाइडले अटोमेटिकली दे विल प्रोभाइड 2000 स्कलरसिप इफ यु हेभ अ गुड पर्सेन्टेज एन्ड गुड आइएल्स एन्ड हेभ अ ग्रेड हैन। प्लस बिजले 2000 दियो भने तपाईँलाई 4000 स्कलरसिप हुन्छ र तपाईँले 4000 तिर्नु भयो भने फर्स्ट इयर यु डोन्ट नीड टु पे एनिथिङ है। अब सेकेन्ड इयरको चाहिँ तपाईँले 7000 पाउन्ड चाहिँ तिर्नुपर्छ। यो चाहिँ सिस्टम छ हाम्रो। ओके, अब यसको प्रोसेस चाहिँ तपाईँको एप्लिकेसन फर्महरू छ, त्यो सबै प्लिज कन्ट्याक्ट विथ द बिज टिम एन्ड दे विल सेन्ड यु द हुन्छ तपाईँलाई लिङ्कहरू सबै पठाउँछ अनि त्यो भर्नुहोस्। अनि तर दिस स्कलरसिप ओन्ली फर स्टुडेन्ट फ्रम एप्लाइङ फ्रम बिज एजुकेसन।
त्यो अनि एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया चाहिँ यतिदेखि चाहिँ हुनुपर्छ भन्ने सुरुमै त्यो एप्लाई गर्नुभन्दा अगाडि जस्ट अब
तपाईँको पर्सेन्टेज तपाईँको मास्टर्सको लागि हो भने 65 प्लस र 70 प्लस छ हैन, दुईटाको एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया। र अन्डर ग्रेजुएटको लागि चाहिँ 75 प्लस 1000 लाई 75 प्लस अनि त्यसपछि 2000 लाई चाहिँ 85 प्लस। त्यो चाहिँ कस्तो नि मेरिट बेस्ड स्कलरसिप हो हैन। आइ एम ट्राइङ टु ब्रिङ द गुड हुन्छ नि एकदमै ट्यालेन्ट स्टुडेन्टहरू चाहिँ युकेमा। यसको मोटिभ भनेकै एकदम क्वालिटीको विद्यार्थीहरूलाई क्वालिटी। जस्तो तपाईँ मान्नुहोस् कि भोलि यु वान गो फर द हुन्छ नि हायर ऱ्याङ्कको युनिभर्सिटीमा जानुहुन्छ, तपाईँको पर्सेन्टेज पुगेन भने तपाईँलाई रोकिनु भन्दा पनि वाइ नट यु गिभ यु चान्स टु हुन्छ नि कन्ट्रिब्युट समथिङ फ्रम आवर साइड भन्ने हो कि है। अब त्यसको लागि चाहिँ त्यही हो, डकुमेन्टेसन हामी हेर्छौँ र डकुमेन्टेसन र पर्सेन्टेजमा निर्भर हुन्छ।
जीवजी यसको लागि तपाईँलाई लिङ्क के चाहिन्छ भने चाहिँ पछि हामीलाई फेसबुकमा लेख्न अनि वी विल सेन्ड यु द एन्ट्री क्राइटेरिया
एन्ड अदर थिङ्स लाइक डु नट वेट टु एप्लाई है। एप्लाई गर्न चाहिँ कसैले पनि युनिभर्सिटीमा एप्लाई गर्न वेट नगर्नु होला, वेदर इज फ्रम बिज एजुकेसन और एनी अदर कन्सल्टेन्सिज हैन। प्लिज मेक स्योर यु मेक योर डिसिजन राइट नाउ बिकज सेप्टेम्बर इन्टेक इट्स गन बी लाइक हुन्छ नि यो एकदमै गोन्जामाल हुनेवाला छ, किनभने युनिभर्सिटी एकैचोटि खुल्नेवाला छ। वान्स सबै खुलिसकेपछि एप्लिकेसन धेरै हुन्छ अनि एसेसमेन्ट गर्न एकदम प्रब्लम हुन्छ। किनभने लास्ट जनवरीमा युनिभर्सिटीहरूले एप्लिकेसनै प्रोसेस गर्न नसकेर जनवरीबाट मेबाट सेप्टेम्बर भन्दाखेरि त्यो विद्यार्थी अब अर्को जनवरीमा आउने भइसक्यो हैन। सो प्लिज मेक योर डिसिजन अलिक चाँडै गर्नुहोस् हैन। हामी जस्तो प्लेटफर्म अरू ठाउँमा पनि छ जहाँ भर्चुअल फेयरहरू भइरहेको छ हैन। एटेन्ड गर्नुहोस् अनि आफ्नो राइट डिसिजन लिनुहोस् के हैन। सबै युनिभर्सिटीमा हेर्नुहोस्, सबै युनिभर्सिटीको कोर्स प्रोफाइल हेर्नुहोस्, आफूले रिसर्च गर्नुहोस् अनि डिसिजन चाहिँ अलिक चाँडै लिनुहोस् है। किन भन्दाखेरि भोलि तपाईँको यस्तो नहोस् कि एकैचोटि तपाईँहरूको एप्लिकेसन आउँछ अनि इन्डियाबाट पनि एप्लिकेसन आउँछ, बिकज एज यु नो हाम्रो डकुमेन्ट चाहिँ इन्डियामा गएर एसेसमेन्ट भएर अनि डिसिजन आउँछ कि। सो इट टेक्स टाइम हाम्रो डकुमेन्टको डिसिजन आउनलाई। जस्तो टिसाइडको चाहिँ डकुमेन्ट के हुन्छ पहिला इन्डिया टिमले हेरेर इन्डिया टिमले तपाईँको त्यो पर्सेन्टेजलाई उनीहरूले त्यो चेक गरेर देन ओन्ली दे विल इस्यु द अफर लेटर त्यसको प्रोसेस अलि लामो छ त्यही भएर चाहिँ सकेसम्म चाँडै एप्लाई गर्नुहोस् अरू केही छ भने
भनेपछि नेपाली स्टुडेन्ट्सहरुलाई के प्रायोरिटी राख्दैन कि के भनेपछि अब हामीले एप्लिकेसन गर्दा सिधै अनलाइनबाट गर्ने हो उनीहरुको साइटमा हैन
अनि यस्तो हुन्छ कि तपाईको अब इन्डियाबाट तपाईको जुन पर्सेन्टेज मिलेको र क्लीन फाइलहरु तपाईको धेरै आयो भने नि हैन नेपाली फाइलहरु त तपाईको नम्बर एकदमै कम हुन्छ नि त हैन अनि त्यो भएर चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ अलिकति अलि चाँडै एप्लाई गर्नुपर्छ कि किनभने नेपाली प्रायोरिटी नराखेको हैन नेपाली एसेसमेन्ट गर्न चाहिँ टाइम लाग्छ कि किनभने नेपालीको क्वालिफिकेसन इक्विभ्यालेन्ट टु क्वालिफिकेसन गर्नै समय लाग्छ कि त्यही भएर हो नेपाललाई प्रायोरिटी नदिने भन्ने त होइन किन नेपाललाई प्रायोरिटी नदिनु भए त हाम्रो विद्यार्थीले स्कलरसिपै पाउनु नथ्यो नि हैन तपाईलाई हामी उहाँको भिडियो र उहाँको त्यो टेस्टिमोनियल पठाइदिन्छौँ हैन अब पाउने पनि हुनुहुन्छ तर मेन कुरा चाहिँ प्रायोरिटी होइन कि टेक्स टाइम किन उहाँ अब जस्तो तपाईँ मान्नुहोस् कि मलाई तपाईँले इन्डियाको सर्टिफिकेट दिनुभयो भने मैले इन्डियाको सर्टिफिकेट त अहिले डिसिजन दिन सक्दिनँ नि त किनभने मैले त्यो इक्विभ्यालेन्सी चेक गर्नुपर्छ त्यही भएर चाहिँ चेक गर्न अलि टाइम लाग्छ अब हामीसँग त्यो आजको भोलि जवाफ दिने युनिभर्सिटी पनि छ बट दिस इभेन्ट ओन्ली फर टिसाइड अनि टिसाइडको चाहिँ यो प्रोसेस छ अब त्यो टिसाइडको राम्रो पक्ष चाहिँ नेपाली विद्यार्थीहरूको लागि के छ भने फर्स्ट इयरको लागि त्यति धेरै पैसा तिर्नु पर्दैन टिसाइड फीको लागि कि जस्तो तपाईँको 4000 5000 पाउनमा पनि तपाईँ चाहिँ यहाँ इनरोल गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ र बाँकी त्यो तपाईँलाई स्कलरसिप एक पैसा नेपाली विद्यार्थीले स्कलरसिप जम्मा 1500 मात्र पायो भने सबै इन्ट्री रिक्वायरमेन्ट गर्यो भने हैन फी हुन्छ तपाईँको 6500 त्योभन्दा पनि कम हुन्छ है अनि त्यसमा तपाईँको 4000 पैसा नेपालबाटै तिरिसके हुनुहुन्छ सो बाँकी त्यहाँ तपाईँको 1500 देखि 2000 बाँकी रहन्छ अनि त्यो तपाईँले 7 वटा इन्स्टलमेन्ट बनाउनु मिल्छ कि सो पढ्दै कमाउँदै पनि गर्न मिल्छ फर्स्ट इयर चाहिँ है र पिजी अनि त्यो पोस्ट ग्रेजुएटको लागि अनि पोस्ट ग्रेजुएटको विद्यार्थीले चाहिँ डिपेन्डेन्ट ल्याउन पाउँछ है त्यो चाहिँ अलिकति बेनिफिट छ
त्यो पेमेन्ट
हजुर
यो के युनिभर्सिटीले दिएको यो स्कलरसिप त्यो 2000 चाहिँ सेकेन्ड इयरमा कन्टिन्यू हुन्छ कि हुँदैन सर
हुँदैन फर्स्ट इयर मात्र तपाईको टोटल ट्युसन फीमा घट्ने भनेको तपाईको म्याक्सिमम 2000 घट्छ र 500 पाउन्ड छ नि त्यो एकैचोटि तिर्दाखेरि डिस्काउन्ट त्यो 2500 टोटल फीमा 2500 मात्र घट्छ यदि तपाईले त्यो भिसी पाउनु भएन भने है तपाईको टोटल फी भन्नु 2 वर्षको फी तपाईको 11500 हुन्छ 11500 देखि 12000
हेलो सर
हजुर
नमस्ते
हजुर नमस्कार
म विकल्प सुब्बा बोलेको सर
हजुर विकल्प भन्नुहोस्
हजुर त्यो लाइक के अब यदि सेप्टेम्बरमा यदि युकेमा यदि लकडाउन खुल्यो भने हैन सर अनि बट नेपालमा खुलेन भने अनि हामीले त एनओसी त गराउन मिल्ने भएन के सर हैन
हो
अनि के गर्ने त हाम्रो
अब यो भनेको अहिले भनेको हामीले इन्फर्मेसन दिइरहेको हो हैन अब भोलि तपाईको नेपालबाट सोर्स कन्ट्री नै खुलेन भने त नेपालमै बस्ने हो नि हैन देयर इज नो अल्टरनेटिभ अब दुईटा अल्टरनेटिभ हुन्छ कि अनलाइन पढ्नु पर्यो कि नेपालमै बसेर पढ्नु पर्यो हैन त अब अनलाइन पढ्नलाई इन्ट्रेस्टेड हुनुहुन्छ भने नेपाली विद्यार्थीले अनलाइनमा पढ्नु पर्यो र जहिले लकडाउन खुल्छ युके आउनु पर्यो हैन अदरवाइज जस्ट वी निड टु वेट एन्ड यो टाइम चाहिँ रिसर्च गर्ने है युनिभर्सिटी आफूले जुन पर्टिकुलर युनिभर्सिटी जान लाउनु भएको छ नि है त्यसको रिसर्च गर्न बस्ने समय हो
हजुर हजुर
है अब त्यो लकडाउनको बारेमा चाहिँ दिन सक्दैन हैन अब मैले भने नि नेपाल खुलेर मात्र नै समाधान छैन के भोलि कतार खुलेन भने के गर्ने हैन हाम्रो ट्रान्जिट त कतारबाट आउनु पर्यो इन्डिया खुलेन भने के ट्रान्जिट त त्यहाँ छ हैन र लकडाउन भनेको सबैतिर खोल्नु पर्छ तर विद्यार्थीले अहिले आफ्नो प्रिपरेसन गर्ने समय हो है प्रिपरेसन भनेको कस्तो हुन्छ भने जस्तो अब हामीले फुटबल नै कुनै म्याच खेल्न गयो मानौ हैन हाम्रो टुर्नामेन्टमा गेम खेल्न जान लाग्छौँ भने हामी अब भोलि गेम त पानी पर्छ भनेर हामी गेम खेल्न नजाने भनेर त घरमा बस्दैनौँ नि हैन भोलि चाहिँ त्यहाँ आन्दोलन हुन्छ ल पछि नेपाल बन्द छ भनेर हामी त घरमा प्र्याक्टिस नगरिकन बस्छौँ त बस्दैनौँ नि टाइम यो चाहिँ प्र्याक्टिस गर्ने टाइम भनेको रिसर्च गर्ने टाइम के विद्यार्थीले जस्ट आफ्नो रिसर्च गर्ने अब जस्तो तपाईहरुले चाहिँ हरेक दिन अरु युनिभर्सिटी आउँछ नि त्यो युनिभर्सिटीहरुमा आउने जस्तो अब टिसाइडले त हामी 100% सेप्टेम्बर गर्छु भन्न सक्यो नि त उनीहरुले हैन
हजुर हजुर
त्यसको मतलब देयर इज समथिङ गुड न्यूज के राम्रो कुराहरु हुँदैछ युकेमा पनि है युकेमा चाहिँ लकडाउन अलिक कुलो हुँदैछ नेपालमा अलिक कडा हुँदैछ हैन
हजुर हजुर
नेपालमा पिक आई थिंक एन्ड अफ द जुनसम्म पिक हुन्छ हैन त्यसको 2 महिना भनेपछि अगस्तबाट चाहिँ नेपालमा अलिकति सजिलो हुन सक्छ तर त्यो सजिलो हुन्छ सबै विद्यार्थीले कुरेर त्यही बेला अफर एप्लाई गर्यो भने म ग्यारेन्टी दिन्छु 100 जनाले एप्लाई गर्नु भने 10 जनाको अफर आउँदैन
हजुर हजुर त्यही मैले त अफर लेटर होल्ड गरेर बसिरहेको अब अनकन्डिसनल पैसा दिन्छु म त
अनकन्डिसनल छ भने चाहिँ यु डोन्ट निड टु वरी किन अनकन्डिसनल भएको विद्यार्थीले अब चाहिँ एनओसी बनाउने खुलेपछि अनि पेमेन्ट गर्ने हो पेमेन्ट पनि नगर्ने जबसम्म कन्फर्मेसन हुँदैन दुईटै गभर्नमेन्टले हैन नेपाल गभर्नमेन्टले पनि जान भनेर अनुमति दिँदैन युकेले त ल्याउनलाई त अब आफ्नो प्लान बनाइसकेको छ हैन तर हामीले जबसम्म हाम्रो ट्रान्जिट आउने बाटोहरू खुला हुँदैन नि तबसम्म पेमेन्ट अनलेस युनिभर्सिटीले चाहिँ कुनै कोर्सहरुमा चाहिँ पेमेन्ट हाम्रो अब सिद्धिन लाग्यो हामीले चाहिँ सिद्धिन लाग्यो भन्यो भने छुट्टै कुरा हैन अदरवाइज पेमेन्ट नगर
ए त्यही त के त्यही अब एनओसी यो पुरै लकडाउन खोलेपछि त्यही गर्ने भनेर
लकडाउन खोलेपछि एनओसी बनाउनु भन्दा पहिला एकचोटी चाहिँ के गर्ने सबै राम्रोसँग बुझ्ने है
हजुर हजुर त्यही त पेमेन्ट गर्नु भन्दा अगाडि सबै कुरा बुझेर नै गरौँ भनेको त यार
हो त्यही नै अब अरु जीवनजीले के भन्नुहुन्छ भनेपछि अहिले चाहिँ के एप्लाई गर्ने अनि अफर लेटर हो दिस इज द राइट टाइम जीवनजी अहिले अफर लेटर लिने अफर लेटर लिएर बस्ने बिकज इट कस्ट यु नथिङ हैन तपाईको अलिकति टाइम खर्च हुन्छ एसओपी लेख्नुपर्छ अब मैले नेपाली विद्यार्थीहरूले बुझ्नुभयो होला एसओपी को महत्त्व के रहेछ भनेर एसओपी ले तपाईलाई युनिभर्सिटीको बारेमा जान्नलाई मद्दत गर्छ है एसओपी अर्कोलाई लेख्न नलाउनु साथीलाई लेख्न नलाउनुस् है एसओपी आफैले लेख्नुस् त्यो एसओपी ले तपाईलाई त्यो युनिभर्सिटीको त्यो ठाउँको बारेमा जान्न एकदम महत्त्व गर्छ के अनि त्यो एसओपी ले त भोलि बीचको स्कलरशिप एप्लाई गर्न पनि महत्त्व गर्ने भयो सो मेक श्योर राइट डाउन योर ओन एसओपी है अनि त्यो गर्नु न हुन्छ तपाईले चाहिँ तपाईले त्यो गर्दाखेरि हुन्छ अनि त्यसपछि अर्को एउटा इम्पोर्टेन्ट चीज चाहिँ के हो भने रेफरेन्सिङहरु बनाउने हैन रेफरेन्स लेटरहरु चाहिन्छ रेफरेन्स लेटरहरुको कुरा भयो अनि अरु कुराहरु बिस्तारै बिस्तारै आफूले त्यो चीजहरु चाहिँ बनाउन पनि सुरु गर्नुस् है ओके अरु के क्वेशन छ तपाईहरुलाई
रेफरेन्स भनेको रेकमेन्डेसनहरु
रेकमेन्डेसन दुईटा रेकमेन्डेसन एउटादेखि दुईटा रेकमेन्डेसन माग्छ के युनिभर्सिटीले
अनि सर
हजुर
अहिले हामीले अनकन्डिसनल अफर लिएर होल्ड गरेर बस्छौं नि हैन सपोज हैन यदि सेप्टेम्बरमा हामी नगएर यदि जनवरी गयौं भने फेरि हामीले जनवरीको लागि अफर लेटर एप्लाई गर्नु माग्नु पर्छ रिक्वेस्ट गर्नु
पर्छ इट डिपेन्ड्स अब कुन चाहिँ युनिभर्सिटी कुन चाहिँ कोर्स हुन्छ हैन
हजुर
मास्टर्स लेभलको कोर्स जनवरी हुने एकदम चान्स छ हैन
हजुर
अन्डर ग्रेजुएटको हुने चाहिँ अब त्यो हेर्नै पर्छ युनिभर्सिटी के डिसिजन लिन्छ
यदि कोर्स रहेछ भने चाहिँ अफर रिक्वेस्ट गर्नु पर्छ परेन हैन
त्यो हैन त्यो बीचको टिमलाई चाहिँ एउटा इमेल गर्नुपर्छ ओके मेरो डिफर गरिदिनु भनेर अनि हामी डिफर गरिदिन्छौँ
यदि लाइक सेप्टेम्बर यदि युजुअली यदि भएन भने चाहिँ त्यही अक्टोबर त होला नि हैन डिफर जान्छ
अब त्यो अहिलेसम्म त्यसको केही बोल्न मिल्दैन हैन विकल्पको अफर कहाँबाट आएको छ मैले सबै हेर्नुपर्छ हैन सो देन ओन्ली वी गाइड यु हामी चाहिँ त्यो चाहिँ विकल्प यदि अनकन्डिसनल अफर होल्डर हो भने अनकन्डिसनल अफर होल्डरहरुलाई चाहिँ हाम्रो छुट्टै मिटिङ हुन्छ नि त हैन अब त्यो मिटिङमा चाहिँ डिस्कस गर्ने किनभने यसको सम्बन्धी कुराहरू जस्तो पर्टिकुलर युनिभर्सिटी के ल्याउँछ के हैन हरेक युनिभर्सिटीको आफ्नो रिक्वायरमेन्ट छ के है जस्तो अब युनिभर्सिटी अफ बोल्टन हैन युनिभर्सिटी अफ बोल्टनले चाहिँ हामीले सुरु गर्छु भनेर लास्ट टाइम भिडियो निकालेको थियो हैन अब आज टीसाइडले हामी सुरु गर्छु भनेर उनीहरूले ओरिएन्टेसन डेटै तोकिसकेको छ हैन सो एभ्री नयाँ चीजहरु आउँदैछ हैन सो यसले चाहिँ पोजिटिभ इम्प्याक्ट हुँदैछ तर इट टेक्स टाइम विद्यार्थीहरूले अफर एप्लाई गर्न चाहिँ ढिला नगर्नु मैले भने नि यु क्यान चुज एनी कन्सल्टेन्सी है बट आफ्नो भिजा एप्लाई गर्न चाहिँ के अरे अफर एप्लाई गर्न चाहिँ ढिला नगर्नुस्
ल धन्यवाद सर
ल अरु कोही हुनुहुन्छ भने है हामीलाई अब हामीसँग अब फ्यु मिनेट्स मात्र बाँकी छ आजको प्रोग्राममा
अरु के क्वेशन्स त भने अब 2 more minutes maybe and then we'll
हेलो सर
हजुर
यो बीज एजुकेसनले अफर गर्ने स्कलरशिप चाहिँ हाम्रो फर्स्ट इयरमै कन्टिन्यू गर्न मिल्दैन
त्यो फर्स्ट इयरलाई मात्र हो त्यो दैट ओन्ली फर फर्स्ट इयर
हैन बीज एजुकेसनले अफर गर्ने त्यो 2000 चाहिँ प्लस अनि यो के रे युनिभर्सिटी 2000 फर्स्ट इयरकै सँग हट हुन्छ
के गर्ने नै त्यही हो लाइक इफ तपाईले चाहिँ 2000 पाउनु भयो भने हैन दैट 2000 पाउन्ड बीज एजुकेसनको प्लस युनिभर्सिटीको स्कलरशिपमा एड हुन्छ के त्यो
ए हस् थ्यांक यू
ओके त्यो हुन्छ ओके हजुर You want to say something?
Tapayko mute. You're on mute. You'll have to unmute first.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. हजुर.
हजुर सर म एजाजुर रहमान बोलेको.
हजुर एजाजुर हजुर.
सर त्यो अहिले के छ सेप्टेम्बर इन्टेकको बारेमा?
सेप्टेम्बरको अघि एजाजुर त जनवरीमा आउनु पर्ने है, युनिभर्सिटीले क्यास ढिला भएर आउनु ढिला भयो है. अब सेप्टेम्बरको लागि चाहिँ अहिले ओपन भनेको छ, 19 तारिखबाट उनीहरूले क्लासेस सुरु गर्छु भनेको छ हैन. बट अब नेपालको कन्डिसन त्यति ह्यापनिङ छैन नि त हैन. सो जस्ट अब तपाईको त अफर लेटर सबै रेडी छ हैन र? केदार सर हजुरको त अफर आइसकेको छ हैन?
अफर पनि आइसकेको छ, फी पनि पे गरिसकेको छ सर.
ए फी पनि पे गरिसक्नु भयो?
उहाँको क्याश रिक्वेस्ट भइसकेको छ सर.
ए ठीक छ हजुर. अब के हुन्छ भने अब 2 हप्तापछि क्याश लेटर आउँछ. 2 देखि 3 हप्तामा.
2-3 हप्तामा.
हो एउटा इन्टरभ्यु लिन्छ उनीहरुले हैन. देन दे विल इस्यु द क्याश लेटर.
इन्टेक चाहिँ कन्फर्म हुन्छ सर सेप्टेम्बरको त्यो.
अब इन्टेक कन्फर्म हुन्छ. अझ चाहिँ फ्लाइ गर्न चाहिँ नेपाल गभर्नमेन्टले चाहिँ दिन्छ कि दिदैन भन्ने मात्र छ.
ए त्यो चाहिँ हो, नत्र नै इन्टेक चाहिँ कन्फर्म हुन्छ.
इन्टेकले आजको डेटमा चाहिँ इन्टेक कन्फर्म हुन्छ भनेर अघि न भन्यो. 19 सेप्टेम्बरबाट क्लास के रे वेलकम विक, 21 मा चाहिँ ओरिएन्टेसन गर्छु भनेछ.
ए हजुर हजुर.
है
भनेपछि नेपालमा प्रब्लम भएन भने चाहिँ हुन्छ, कन्फर्म हुन्छ.
कोर्स हुन्छ.
इफ नेपालमा केही प्रब्लमले अब बाहिर जान दिएन भने के गर्ने सर?
अब त्यसको लागि चाहिँ दुईटा अप्सन्स, कि अब रिफन्ड लिने कि चाहिँ जनवरीले डिफर गर्ने. या चाहिँ अनलाइनमा पढ्ने, जनवरी देखि सेप्टेम्बर अनलाइन पढ्ने, जनवरीमा सेकेन्ड सेमेस्टर पढ्न आउने एउटा अप्सन हुन्छ हैन. अनि अर्को चाहिँ के अब जनवरीलाई डिफर गर्नु पर्यो हैन, या चाहिँ रिफन्ड पनि फुल रिफन्ड हुन्छ है.
यस्तो छ सर, जनवरी डिफर गर्ने हो भने मेरो आइएल्ट्स को डेट फेरि नोभेम्बरमा एक्सपायर हुन्छ.
अहिले त्यो म कुरा गरौँला युनिलाई. युनिको इङ्ग्लिस टेस्ट पनि छ, त्यो इङ्ग्लिस टेस्ट लियो भने पनि उनीहरूले एक्जाम्सन गर्छ के.
हजुर हजुर.
त्यो म कुरा गरौँला इङ्ग्लिसको. पहिला अब हामी चाहिँ अहिले फिङ्गर क्रस हौँ, हामी चाहिँ अब यो कुरा चाहिँ हामीले अब अगस्तमा कुरा गर्नुपर्छ.
अगस्तमा कुरा गर्नुपर्छ.
आफ्टर अफर लेटर आइसकेपछि हैन, देन विल डिसाइड के गर्ने भनेर.
अहिले चाहिँ एभ्रिथिङ पोजिटिभै छ.
अहिले युकेमा चाहिँ पोजिटिभ छ हैन. युकेमा चाहिँ अब डेथ पनि कम हुँदैछ हैन, इन्फेक्सन रेट पनि कम हुँदैछ र यहाँ चाहिँ बिस्तारै बिजनेसहरू पनि खुल्दैछ.
हजुर हजुर.
हैन अब गभर्नमेन्टले चाहिँ जुलाईको फर्स्ट विकबाट चाहिँ अलिकति अहिले चाहिँ इसेन्सियल अनि नन इसेन्सियल सब पसलहरू पनि बिस्तारै खुल्दैछ कि. अब हामी पनि सायद जुन 15बाट हामीलाई पनि अफिस खोल्न अनुमति दिन्छ, हामी पनि आफ्नै अफिसमा गएर फेरि काम गर्न सुरु गर्छौँ हैन. अहिले त हामी सबैले घरमा काम गरिरहेका छौँ, अनि त्यही भएर हाम्रो ब्याकग्राउन्ड चाहिँ भर्चुअल ब्याकग्राउन्ड छ, सबै घरमा काम गरेको भएर. सो नेक्स्ट विकबाट सायद हामी अफिस पनि जान्छौँ होला. सो त्यो भयो भने युकेमा चाहिँ बेटर हुँदैछ. अब नेपाल चाहिँ कति चाँडै रिकभर हुन्छ त्यसमा डिपेन्ड हुन्छ.
उताबाट कन्फर्मेसन दिएपछि नेपालले गर्छ सायद, त्यो सुनेको मैले.
अब लेट्स सी. अब यस्तो छ नि त, नेपालमा इन्फेक्सन रेट बढी भइरहेको छैन. अनि एउटा कुरा चाहिँ युके गभर्नमेन्टले के भनेको छ, यदि कोही पनि फरेनर युकेमा आउँछ भने उसले 14 दिन चाहिँ क्वारेन्टाइनमा बस्नुपर्ने नियम छ के.
त्यहाँ युकेमा पनि त्यो सिस्टम छ.
यहाँ 14 दिन. अब तपाईँले नेपालबाट फ्लाइ गरेर आउनुभयो, अनुमति दियो भने पनि तपाईँले 14 दिन चाहिँ तपाईँ आफ्नो सिधै अकोमोडेसनमा जान पाइँदैन. यहाँ क्वारेन्टाइनमै बस्नुपर्छ. 14 दिन क्वारेन्टाइनमा बसिसकेपछि मात्र जान पाइन्छ. अब त्यसको अरू प्रोटोकल अरू पनि आउन सक्छ हैन. मलाई चाहिँ के लाग्छ भने अरू कुरा चाहिँ के ल्याउँछ, जस्तो हाम्रो टिबी टेस्ट नेपालबाट गरेर आउँछौँ नि त, त्यस्तै केही टेस्ट गराएपछि मात्र आउने सिस्टम बनाउँछ कि हैन. त्यसको डिटेल गाइडलाइन्स आउन बाँकी छ. तर युके गभर्नमेन्ट पनि पोजिटिभ छ र यहाँका युनिभर्सिटीहरू पनि पोजिटिभ छन्. किनभने टिसाइड मात्र होइन, टिसाइड भन्दा अरू बाँकी युनिभर्सिटीहरूले पनि हामी सेप्टेम्बर गर्छु भनेर आएको छ कि.
ए हजुर हजुर सर.
सो अब होप फर द बेस्ट हजुर है. अब के भन्ने, अब जनवरीमा आएर पढ्ने विद्यार्थी अब सेप्टेम्बरमा आउने भयो है. ठिकै छ है. तपाईँलाई चाहिँ अब मेन कुरा, अब यो अलरेडी डन यो पार्ट अफ रिसर्च होइन, तपाईँले सबै हेरिसक्नु भएको छ. सो आई थिङ्क मेन कुरा चाहिँ कोर्स सम्बन्धी नै हेरेर बस्नु है. अनि किप अपडेटको लागि चाहिँ हाम्रो यो फेसबुकमा आउनुहोस्, हामी अपडेट गरिरहेको हुन्छौँ है.
फेसबुकमा एक्टिभ छु म
है. अनि अर्को चाहिँ के छ भने अर्को महिना पनि हुन्छ हाम्रो यही नै सेसन विथ द टिसाइड हैन. सायद मोस्ट प्रोबेबली त्यो बेलामा तपाईँको क्यास आइसक्छ. अनि देन विल डिस्कस विथ द टिसाइड टिम एज वेल.
ओके सर.
है ल. थ्याङ्क यू हजुर. थ्याङ्क यू भेरी मच.
थ्याङ्क यू हजुर. सो अब चाहिँ यो सेसनलाई पनि एन्ड गरौँ. हाम्रो अर्को भर्चुअल फेयर अब 10th तारिखमा हुन्छ, द्याट विल बी पर्सि. सो त्यति बेला फेरि भेटौँला
सरी उषा 10th मा चाहिँ हामी हुन्छ नि युनिभर्सिटी अफ वेस्ट अफ लन्डनको भर्चुअल फेयर हुँदैछ हैन सो एनी स्टुडेन्ट विलिङ टु गो फर लन्डन अब यो आजको हाम्रो सेसन भनेको न्यू क्यासल हैन मिडल्सब्रो हाम्रो चाहिँ आउटसाइड लन्डन भन्छ हैन बट इट्स नट द आउटसाइड लन्डन 2 घण्टा 20 मिनेटमा लन्डनबाट 2 घण्टा 30 मिनेटमा लन्डन पुग्छ हैन इट्स द हुन्छ नि मिड पोइन्ट अफ युके हो हैन यो चाहिँ नर्थ इस्टको मिड पोइन्ट हो है युके को है जस्तो हाम्रो प्रेसिडेन्ट जस्तो मिड पोइन्ट हो युके को त्यस्तै नै यो मिडल्सब्रो यसलाई मिड पोइन्ट भन्छ है सो यो वेमा चाहिँ तपाईँ स्कटल्यान्ड जाने बेला आइदर यु क्यान गो फ्रम द्याट रुट ओर दिस रुट इन नर्थ वेस्ट ओर नर्थ इस्ट है सो यो चाहिँ यो ठाउँमा छ हैन अब तपाईँहरूले टीसाइड किन भन्दा देयर आर हुन्छ नि न्यू क्यासल भन्ने क्लब सुन्नु भएको छ होला त्यो टीसाइडमै छ मिडल्सब्रो भन्ने क्लब सुन्नु भएको छ त्यो टीसाइडमा छ हैन इट्स अ फेमस सिटी है यो अलिकति राम्रो सिटी पनि छ र यसको सराउन्डिङ सिटीहरू चाहिँ राम्रो छ युनिभर्सिटीहरू पनि टप र्याङ्क युनिभर्सिटी जस्तो युनिभर्सिटी अफ न्यू क्यासल नर्दम्ब्रिया युनिभर्सिटी अहिले नर्दम्ब्रिया युनिभर्सिटी अलिकति हट केक भइरहेछ नेपाली विद्यार्थीहरूमा हैन सो नर्दम्ब्रिया युनिभर्सिटी नट लन्डन क्याम्पस मेन क्याम्पस चाहिँ तपाईँको यहीँ छ है न्यू क्यासल टीसाइड है सो यस्तो छ तर अब मेन कुरा रिसर्च चाहिँ विद्यार्थीहरूले आफूले गर्नु पर्यो हैन अब ठुलो सिटी हुँदैन विद्यार्थीले फेरि सबै कुरा पाउँछ भन्ने हैन है आफ्नो क्वालिटी आफ्नो स्किल चाहिँ विद्यार्थीले थाहा पाउनु पर्यो र ठुलो बिगेस्ट सिटी हुँदैमा अपर्च्युनिटी हुने र सानो सिटी हुँदैमा नहुने भन्ने चाहिँ हुँदैन हैन विद्यार्थीमा आफूमा स्किल हुनुपर्छ है अनि अब भोलिको सेसन चाहिँ अब पर्सि हाम्रो 10th को चाहिँ वेस्ट लन्डन है लन्डनको युनिभर्सिटी जो चाहिँ अब पहिला त हाम्रो नर्सिङ विद्यार्थीहरूलाई एकदमै पपुलर थियो त्यो युनिभर्सिटी है नेपाली नर्सेसहरू धेरै त्यहाँबाट ग्रेजुएट हुनुभएको छ र रिसेन्टली चाहिँ तपाईँको आइटीको लागि पनि त्यो टप र्याङ्कमा छ बिजनेसको लागि पनि धेरै कोर्सहरू छ र देयर आर सम स्कलरसिप हाम्रो बिचको इभेन्टमा आउने विद्यार्थीहरूलाई स्कलरसिप स्पेसल स्कलरसिपहरू पनि युनिभर्सिटीहरूले अनाउन्स गरेको छ हैन सो प्लिज कम एन्ड जोइन विथ अस अन 10th हैन अब सेम टाइम 11 o'clock युके टाइम 3:40 नेपाल टाइम हैन सबैजना आउनुस् र हामी जोइन गरेर हुन्छ नि अर्को इभेन्ट गरौँ एन्ड थ्याङ्क यू फर मेकिङ दिस इभेन्ट सक्सेसफुल हैन उषा
हजुर So thank you so much. We will end today's session. Hope to see you all soon and have a great rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.